it was called Bob Marley One Love album, I think, and they collaborated with a lot of artists around the world. There are two Zimbabweans on that CD. There's Nutty O and there's Winky D. Yeah, write the names down and look for them and play them.
All right, so we have some special people in the building, all the way from Zimbabwe. We have Nicholas Moyo and Clive Mono here. Welcome, guys. We so appreciate you guys for stopping by. How are you doing this morning?
We're doing great, and thank you for hosting us.
Oh, we are happy to host you. You're like my brothers and my brothers all the way from Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
Tell us, so Zimbabwe and Jamaica have had a long-lasting relationship. Talk to us about that connection.
Thank you so much for hosting us here in Jamaica. The relationship between Zimbabwe and Jamaica took a great leap in 1980 when Bob Marley came to Zimbabwe to celebrate the independence of Zimbabwe from colonial rule. Thereafter, we saw the growth of reggae music amongst many of our artists, and also in terms of consumption levels post independence.
And after he came to Zimbabwe, reggae was so huge that every band had to have a reggae segment. No matter what genre you played, you were supposed to have a reggae segment. It was an unwritten law.
Oh, yeah?
If you didn't have a reggae segment, you're going to be pelted by stones, by eggs, by tomatoes, whatever. So we now have a dancehall community. We call it Zim Dancehall.
Zim Dancehall.
Yeah.
Okay. Does it have the same dancehall essence in terms of like the rhythm and the sound is the same maybe, but only thing that is different is maybe the language?
Yeah, the main difference is the language and but the main elements like the rhythms do. It's still the same. The main difference is the language.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, guys, I'm so sorry. I was so excited to have them in studio that I forgot to introduce them. So, Nicholas Moya, he's the permanent secretary of the Ministry of Sport, Recreation, Arts and Culture in Zimbabwe. And Clive Mono is a music producer. Could you tell us what exactly you do as a music producer, Clive?
Okay, number one, I'm a music producer, but first and foremost, I'm a guitarist. I play guitar because in Zimbabwe, in most parts of Africa, our music is guitar driven. So if you are a guitarist, you are somebody with value. And I came into production after I left a band called Oliver Mukundu and the Black Spirits. It was the biggest band in Zimbabwe. So that's what I'm still doing up to now. Okay,
awesome. And Mr. Nicholas, could you tell us more about what you do?
I'm a head of ministry, responsible for, in large terms, responsible for sport, and also responsible for arts in the country. And as a country, we have been driving policies around the different disciplines we have in the arts. And in the last 3 years, I think our focus had been on music until we created a music strategy. And my role is to drive that process that creates an environment for our musicians and all the other practitioners around music to create their works and create an industry that can benefit the country.
Okay, awesome. I love that you guys are creative because I am a creative myself.
You see?
Well, a little bit, mostly in the shower. So I want to bring it back to 1980. What was the impact of Bob Marley's performance on April 1980 at Zimbabwe's first independence reception? What was that like?
I think, like we've said earlier, it opened a new wave of doing music. We're coming from a period where Zimbabwe was oppressed and a lot of our musicians had not been performing to the levels that anyone will make business out of. A lot of our big musicians then either had a lot of their music banned by the colonial masters, and it impinged on creativity. But the coming in of Bob Marley was like, wow, there is reggae, and we have seen it there live. So what Mono was saying, thereafter, all musical groups, when they will go out and have their live performances out there, they felt, you know what, if I don't put a reggae song, if I don't do reggae in my show, I'll not have done justice. So when you trace from 1980 to now, this is why now we are talking Zim dancehall. So it has been a long journey, but still a lot of Zimbabweans. By then I was a big young boy, and my collection was really about my collection was reggae.
Okay. Yeah. Well, you've been in Jamaica here for how long have you been in Jamaica now?
Since
Tuesday. We came on Tuesday.
We arrived on Tuesday.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
Okay. How has it been? How has the experience being in Jamaica been for you? I know one of the first places you went to was Bob Marley music, of course, right? I can't just imagine that. Right? No questions asked about that, right? And how was that experience, and how you being in Jamaica, how's it been for you guys?
Impact. I think the museum had such a huge impact to our thinking and our lives. I think we're talking with Mono, and Mono saying, I had this basket, and the only thing which was remaining in my basket was to visit the Bob Marley Museum. But its impact, it spoke a lot about the need for us as a people to honor our own.
Did you get a chance to see the movie?
Yes.
I want.
Also, what's surprising, I think one of the greatest honors, we're talking with Mono, is how in the whole story of the life of Bob Marley, Zimbabwe is captured in there.
Yeah, even in all his documentaries.
Yeah.
Zimbabwe is mentioned a lot. And I also noticed on one documentary where he was sitting outside, there was a Zimbabwean flag hanging from the window of 56 Hope Road.
And we're grateful to the government of Zimbabwe for having invited, because the difference is that the first government post-independence is the one that extended the invitation to Bob Marley in 1980. It was not promoters or anyone, it was the government.
It was the government. Because according to one of his documentaries, they sent a delegation. At that time, they were not yet in office, so they did not have money. So when Don Taylor, who was Bob Marley's manager, told them the budget, they couldn't afford it. And Bob Marley said, don't worry. So he came to our country, performed for free, hired the instruments, everything. He did it for free.
Moving forward,
what can we expect to see, between Jamaica and Zimbabwe, or getting closer, what are we gonna do?
One movement.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
I think for us it's very clear. I represent the government of Zimbabwe. And the delegation to come here, I'm the government of Zimbabwe, and he represents the sector, the music sector. And number one, we came here to learn. But number two, we came here to network.
Yes.
Creating something that will go beyond the Island Music Conference.
Okay.
We were shocked. We were talking to one radio station from Guadeloupe, and they were talking about one of our polished young musicians, Nutty O. So we are seeing that there are things that we can tap from.
Right.
It's not just about exporting art. I think it's about collaboration and ensuring that a lot of our people can learn from what Jamaica has done. We are proud to say the way Jamaica has exported its culture is unparalleled. And for us as a country, we are learning from that. But we can't just learn by sitting on the fence.
Yeah,
So
we
should,
interact.
and creating a better relationship with the government here, with the ministry here, and with the sector, direct musician to musician, producer to producer relationship.
But you know, I mean, we play a lot of Afro beats.
We do,
But have we been able to get into the Zimbabwe dancehall stuff yet?
There was a Bob Marley One Love. It was called Bob Marley One Love album, I think. That was produced, I think it was here in Jamaica, and they collaborated with a lot of artists around the world. There are 2 Zimbabweans on that.
Oh yeah?
On that CD. It was released last year, 2022. There's Nutty O and there's
check him out. Nutty O?
Winky D. Yeah, write the names down and look for them and play them as well.
Yes, yes, because
at least we're here so we can tell you about them. So please play those artists. There's Nutty O
And Winky D.
and
Yes.
Winky
I
D.
think those are the ones.
Because
They are on that
you're here.
album. They are on that Bob Marley album. So they are representing Zimbabwe. So you can listen to them and see how much talent we've got. Massive talent in Zimbabwe.
Okay.
You're here to learn, and we also want to learn your culture, because I think Zimbabwe is a part of us. We cannot escape from you guys, and I love that you guys took time out to be present, to learn more about us, and to also share what you have. I feel so special because you guys chose us, you know, out of all the radio stations, you chose us, and I feel so special, and I'm melted right now.
We would like to know what you're going to be learning before you go about what you have learned. We'd like to be
We've learned a lot.
Well,
The only thing that we would like to teach you for today, just want to show you one Zimbabwean instrument.
Okay.
It's called mbira.
Okay.
It's thousands and thousands of years old.
But the size of a book.
Yeah, they call it the thumb piano, but we refuse that name because the piano, we don't call it the finger lira.
Okay.
So we feel that they are reducing our instrument.
But
it looks like she's saying it looks like a book, and yeah, but it's serious art. It's thousands of years old. This is our national instrument.
You know what? It reminds me of the box that they sit.
1,000 years old.
Mike, what's the box that they sit on? Like scap? Is it scaramenta? The Jew? Is it the Jew box?
Yeah, I know the box.
You know,
Yes, it reminds me of that. How they sit on it and play it, but instead it's in your hand.
You know, when UNESCO proclaimed reggae as a masterpiece of intangible cultural heritage.
Ooh, I like how he coined that.
I think it was just before COVID. I think it was 2000. 2 years later, 2001, 2022, UNESCO again listed Mbira as a masterpiece of intangible cultural heritage. So this instrument is recognized at that level.
Oh man, okay. Yeah. We have only less than 1 minute to go, and it's such a pleasure having you guys here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm so happy. I don't like